concerns have been raised about the flouting of regulations and the preventative measures in areas where many people gather. And that's where we find Ahmed Kaji. He is at the trading market in Zandspruit. He joins us live now. Ahmed, talk to us about what people are doing on the streets of Zandspruit. I want you to specifically talk to me about what the scientists have been saying for the longest time, that with the vaccines slowly being rolled out in the country, non-pharmaceutical interventions, that means wearing a mask, sanitizing, that's going to be the order of the day. Are people observing this?
Good afternoon, Koli. As you say, the World Health Organization is encouraging people around the world to ensure that non-pharmaceutical interventions do take place, such as mask wearing, social distancing, sanitizing as much as possible. We've seen that taking place in a very quiet Norwood and Melville earlier this morning. Over here in Zandspruit, in the northwestern suburb of Johannesburg, it's a completely different picture. There seems to be almost no social distancing in the market to my right. I'll give you a view in just a moment. People aren't necessarily wearing masks. There's no social distancing when it comes through to those measures being implemented. And in terms of sanitizing, there aren't many outdoor sanitizing stations, and nor do any of the informal traders have sanitizer that they can distribute to some of the traders. I'm going to take a step to my left and just try avoiding the traffic. And what you will see is people walking, throughout this main road on the side of Beyers Nadir Drive. And you more or less would just see people trading on the left-hand side and to the right-hand side as you go deeper in, and there is almost no social distancing whatsoever when it comes through to an area like this. And the market goes down for about 100 meters or 200 meters down the road as well. And you more or less would see across across the entire block, and in fact going up in towards the main township, social distancing that has not been found. There is no real sanitization. People aren't wearing their masks per se. I mean, there is the economic and social aspect on the affordability of masks. So on that front, that may be something to take into consideration. But as we had the WHO saying that when it comes through to these kind of situations, and with regards to the pandemic, that the more transmission we end up having, the more variant we'll have. So it seems that in situations like this, we have to ensure that the non-pharmaceutical interventions are taking place. They perhaps are being disregarded in an area like this, and in this way we would then potentially see more transmission, and with more transmission there will be more variants, and that's exactly what the WHO is coming out to say. So on that front, speaking to you from Zandspruit, it seems that non-pharmaceutical interventions aren't being flouted at this particular moment. Fully.
Well, Ahmed, thank you very much for that observation. Let's quickly go down to KZN and in the area, or should we say in the city of Durban, where parks remain busy. Our reporter Karinda Jagmohan is at the Blue Lagoon, and she joins us live now. Karinda, as the president prepares to address the nation tonight, what are people's concerns where you are?
Well, I do seem to have lost you there, but I am here at the Blue Lagoon in Durban. It's one of the areas where families often come down to spend some of their free time. And you can take a look at the scenes here. Of course, what we see this time is many as well as fishermen on the beach nearby, families taking a walk, trying to enjoy some of their Sunday ahead of the president's announcements tonight. We're currently on level 3 of the lockdown, and it's unclear whether the president may announce further restrictions, as we are seeing a number of COVID-19 cases, more cases, the numbers rising. In fact, in the last report, or the last reporting cycle, KZN recorded now 12,501 active cases currently in this province, and we did see overall just over 18,000 new cases nationwide. There are some families trying to enjoy what you would say is the last few moments perhaps of freedom ahead of any imminent restriction announcements. Among them is the Khan family. I'm joined by Mr. Khan. Thank you so much for your time, sir, and your family's time. Just tell us about, coming here today to, I believe, just spend some time with the family before locking down as we're seeing cases rise.
Look, the family's been cooped up for the entire lockdown. So I said, before we get these more stringent lockdown rules, let me just come out and spend some time with the family. And I guess that's what I did. And all I can say is thank you to the President for caring for us. Thank you so much.
Mr. Khan, may I just also ask, how has the past year been for yourself, as a resident of Durban, and how do you feel now that we are in the third wave?
Look, being a Durbanite, we are outgoing people, but with the lockdown, the way we all been at home. But right now, I think, a lot of people have lost their jobs during the lockdown, but many of them are safe right now, and we're trying to look after our friends and foes that are actually not working right now. That's all I can say, dear.
And perhaps, would there be anything that you would like the President to announce in terms of some restrictions?
Look, I think the President knows what to say. I'll leave that to him.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Mr. Khan, with his family, has been waiting a while as well to speak to us. You can see they have been enjoying some time here at the beach, but just taking a look around. Thank you very much. There is quite a number of people here. In terms of social distancing, I would say what you see is families obviously staying with their specific parties, their specific groups here as they walk around. We see few people without masks, some not really wearing their mask correctly, but what we see around mostly is just families grouped together. At this time, of course, we know that according to the health department, the Delta variant is the variant that is dominating the country. It was found in KZN as well as the Western Cape, as we are seeing numbers spike. Of course, the third wave being regarded as more severe now than the second wave. Gauteng hospitals still at this point occupied, we understand. In KwaZulu-Natal, a number of vaccinations are still underway, but still too, of course, it depends on what the announcement or what announcements come out tonight from the President's address, and we'll see, of course, what the next steps will be for KwaZulu-Natal in terms of restrictions. Back to you.
Karinda Jagmohan, thank you very much for those updates. That's Karinda Jagmohan and indeed Ahmed Kaji talking to us from here in the province of Gauteng, the worst affected. In a moment,